Welcome to the Java Cafe, Java fam. Good morning. Welcome to the Java Cafe, Java fam.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Today is Tuesday, November 7th, 2023. And before we get started, today is Tuesday, November 7th, 2023, and it is election day. It's a mid-municipal election. I looked outside and it's raining. And you all know I won't go into my mantra until after, but if you're headed out to work or whatever, make plans to get out to vote, especially if you live in Roxbury, Dorchester, and Mattapan. There is this misnomer belief that we're not going to come out and vote today. The future of Boston's equity and all the progress that we've made, and we got not room, but a canyon to grow. Boston's future is on the line today. The construction of the city council is going to play a major role in equity, everything we fought for post George Floyd, everything we've learned, and it was exacerbated during COVID. Get out and vote. This is so serious. We'll update you toward the end of the show in reference to tonight's election watch night coverage. But in speaking of what the council does, they control the budget. To an extent, we got that explanation from City Councilor Tanya Anderson yesterday. But they also put resources into the Boston Public School budget. And one of those areas that is, an area of concern of mine is student support. And so today we have the good Dr. I'm getting ready to say doctor, but Cory McCarthy, who's coming in to speak with us. He is the director of student support for Boston Public Schools. And so we're going to chat with him in just about 2 seconds. But when he gets in, welcome him into the Java Cafe. We're going to hear about what's going on. Our young people are dealing with a lot. And so this is the man that is overseeing the support that goes on in schools, social, emotional support, and things like that. So without further ado, I would like to present to some and introduce to others Cory McCarthy, who is the Student Support Director at Boston Public Schools. Welcome to the Java Cafe, sir. How are you this morning?
Good morning. Good morning. Good to be here. Thank you for having me on your amazing platform. A minute and a half into it, you're already talking about all the things that we care about the most: equity, empathy, and the long-term impact that decisions can make on our kids. So thank you for being here, for having me here today.
Absolutely. Please greet the folks and tell them a little bit about yourself, your journey. How did you land in this position, being a Black man? Presumably you have some clinical background, doing student support, which I think is really dope. So please let us know, tell us about yourself after you greet the folks.
Okay, wonderful. Once again, Cory McCarthy, Deputy Chief of Student Support in the Boston Public Schools. It's a pleasure to be here again. However, my journey started, I was supposed to go to law school out of college. And, I'm getting ready to sort of like attend GW. And, I applied, got in, and it's like, okay, I need a job. And then didn't have a job, and somebody was like, hey, you want to come work at this school? Like randomly, somebody called me. And I started at New Mission High School. And back then, New Mission was alternative education with some whatever. It had a reputation, right? Wasn't high performing at the time. And, after my first day, I got promoted to dean.
The very first day.
After my first day, I got promoted to dean. And it really was centered around like student support. And then like a couple of years later, I did my thing with basketball. Everybody knows me for the most part with basketball. with winning the state titles and city titles, and
So you're Coach McCarthy as well.
Yes. I was very fortunate to the kids carried me all the way to 5 state titles, right? So I was just a bystander, just a guide. So, but the bottom line was in learning from sports and how to get kids and students and families and communities, pull them together. Everybody cares about winning, and everybody wants to be around a winner. And I think that really propelled us to really want more for our students. And in doing so, we were able to amplify the things that our community needed. They needed someone, and they needed a way to support their kids. They needed a way to an avenue to get them to college. They needed an opportunity for them to trust the school that they were in. If you knew about New Mission back then, the second you walked in the building, you definitely was going to feel safe and protected. So what I was able to do in tandem with the leadership there was great, but at the same time they wanted to shut us down at that point. So there was hey, you guys got 2 years to fix it. We had this massive dinner one night. Well, I don't even call it dinner. We ordered food, and it was hey, how can we do this? And then we said let's double down on kids. Let's go to houses. Let's talk to parents more. Let's be in community centers. Let's get a slogan behind us. So, fast forward 8-10 years later, kids are going to college. We're still open. We got a new building at Hyde Park. Renovated building at Hyde Park. Things were on the upswing. We're getting kids into Harvard. We're getting kids in MIT. We're getting kids in UMass Amherst, BU, just a massive turnaround. And at the time, I was probably holding down 4 jobs, athletic director. I was the dean. I was operations, the whole nine.
Hold on, can I just interject? This is really not just a good, I hear other things when you say you was promoted to dean the first day. I hear other things when you say that you were holding down 4 positions. Just salute to all the folks in education, because you all do a whole lot. Go ahead, sir. I'm sorry.
Yeah, education is, if you're in education, you're in it for real. It is rocket science, right? It's legit rocket science. It's, you have to be on point, and you have to read a room so fast, right? And we're just as brilliant as the kids. Imagine going to Forest Hills, and you're at Forest Hills, and somebody says to you, "Hey, where you from?" Do you know how fast a kid has to look at the person that's threatening them and look at your hat, look at your shirt, look at your thing? Damn, I gotta say the right thing. And the typical answer, I tell the kids all the time, the answer is I'm from nowhere. I'm from anywhere. So, but understanding that's brilliance, right?
Yeah.
Kids are surviving off of this right answer all the time and being approached. So, but going back, so after that, we're taking up with basketball. I feel we're doing well. My players are going to college, and the school's thriving. And I'm saying to myself, all right, I need to retire from basketball because I want to help more than a roster of kids. So I wanted to see if this formula that we have would work on the larger school. So I got the job as vice principal at Everett High School.
Where? You said Everett?
Everett High School.
You left us.
I did. No comment, but yeah, I left. But I'm back though. So I go there, and it's the same thing. Students, families, community, building that. And some folks who were very much offended that there was this level of advocacy, especially for Black and Brown students, for multilingual learners, for parents and families. One of the things that I was very proud of is we created a reporting tool for racism. We created reporting tools for people who were threatening the community, and we were able to leverage that to have massive impact on.
Wait, hold on. This isn't Everett though. This isn't Everett.
This isn't Everett.
Okay.
So we were about the business, because there was change, and you're talking about folks who, you just, all you gotta do is type in that and the name Everett, and you're cool there. But we made significant change. I became the chief equity officer in Everett. That was great. We were able to do so many amazing things under the leadership of Priya Tahiliani. So we were always this advocacy side, this student support side, and everything was driven by the students, right? I love adults. I love working among my colleagues in BPS, but I'm student and community. I don't want to be I prefer to walk Norfolk Street and Blue Hill Ave. I'm cool with that. I got my hood pass from basketball, the whole nine, right? So I can go anywhere I want, right?
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So I can go anywhere I want. So it helps, right? and it's not like some sort of magic tool, but like I understand what it is to be a black man, and being a black man. And the second I know the stats, I know the research. The second I walk in a room, not only am I positively impacting the lives of black students, but also white and other demographics. So like our experience is real. So from there, I briefly went into Providence Public Schools. I was in charge of redesign, turnaround, and innovation of the middle and high schools and the schools that needed transformation. And then I transitioned back to Boston when folks was like, hey, like, shout out to some of my colleagues who advocated for me to come back. And now I'm in a role that I feel that where is student support, where we address and assess the students and the schools and the community's greatest needs, and we really, really run with that. Like we take off with it. I mentioned to you before, like not everyone is built for this work, and I feel like we need it, right? We need those layers of advocacy. We need to protect students at all costs, especially around their psychological safety. Like there's a lot of things that we can do around supporting kids academically, right? But to get them in those seats to live and exist as students and to always keep learning at the forefront, from the time their eyes open in the morning to the time their eyes shut at night, right? We have to have things for them to do. We have to honor their, you don't know anything about a kid until you know what they respect. We have to know what they respect. Like it's literally rocket science, and we're built for it because I think that having a strong student support division, and shout out to my colleagues there, Jillian, Jenna, and all those other folks. We also, and I think one of the things that's brilliant about this is that we folded athletics into student support, and because we know what a key lever athletics is for supporting our kids, and the kids actually are motivated by that. So in our division, we are really, really trying to make sure that kids are feeling safe, feeling supported. The community knows that they will get our support along with our family and community engagement piece side of our district, and we're happy about that. We're focused on opportunity youth. I understand what it's like to be in the shoes of the kids. I came from BPS. I went to college through BPS, so it could be done. And
honestly, so let's just establish, because I know folks in Boston, and I kind of wondered a little bit too. You from Boston?
Yeah,
did all this wonderful stuff in Everett and Providence and other places, but okay, so.
Oh no, I'm Boston.
Okay.
Like
yeah, I'm Boston. Okay,
yeah,
yes, sir.
No, I'm from Boston. Like I'm not. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But sometimes you have to sharpen your sword, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And that's why, and I think it's important. If you from Boston, you understand Boston. When you're here and you're doing the work, it's like, okay, that's your sort of like, it could be your pillar or your gravestone. So like you have to leave a little bit, sharpen your sword, come back, because you understand that you have to get better to improve the community. And I feel like that's the route that I've taken. So apologize for the super long answer, but that's where I landed. And I'm happy here to really, really contribute to, one, the psychological safety of our kids, really building upon restorative practices and sort of help leading that work in the district. It's all about peace, justice, and liberation for our kids and our families. And if anybody comes to me with anything else, there's just no conversation to be had.
All right, I'm just going to say what's on my heart. I mean, it's dope to know that you're at the helm of student support. To hear your philosophy, your experience, and whatnot is definitely amazing. There's a young woman that moves in the space. I'm sure you heard of C-Plan. Donna Williams Bowen is in, and she's like, I see great programs implemented since he joined BPS. So knowing that you have that philosophy and life experience, it is dope to know that you are in place. I need to ask you, with your,
we get a lot of support. Like Jillian Kelton, she's the chief of student support. I can't do this without the superintendent and a lot of our other colleagues as well. So
absolutely,
yeah, I appreciate that.
I'm actually going to see Mary next week at the EdQuity event. Hopefully, we'll see you there at Grace.
I will be there.
Okay, so we'll get the grip up.
No disrespect. If some happens with some students, I'm out.
No. And Pam definitely
y'all know right now. Okay.
But let me ask you this. Let me go a little bit backwards. Our Muslim students, our Jewish students. They're seeing what's going on in the world. All of our students that were in, let's say, first and second grade from 2020 on are young people that are impacted by their peers being killed in middle school. All that's going on with maybe young people dealing, I'm pulling in the issues that impact our young people that we talk about at a macro level and not really understand and articulate the impact in the home and the family. Young people whose parents are dealing with sort of mass and caste issues. They're staying with their grandparents. Cory, where are our young people in their social and emotional health? What is your assessment? Where are they?
Well, I think our young people are dealing with absence, and not just absence, not being in seats. They're dealing with the things that we thought that were great for us growing up not being there, right? So it's everything they do is either isolation or loss, and their Encyclopedia Britannica, their resources is the internet. And at any point, I think for us right now, we have to really look at young people in a way. We have to bubble wrap what we're doing with young people right now, and I'll tell you exactly why. Some of the things we're offering. I think one of the things in response to the pandemic, we put social workers in every school, right? We have district level social workers as well. We've improved our counseling intervention center, but most importantly, like in response to absence, we have to increase visibility, right? So and have people who pick up the phone, right? Have people to respond to the greatest needs, and often ask kids if they're okay. And I think the absence of those constant check-ins or developing relationships with that person. Everybody needs a person. If I talk to you, if I ask you who your person was when you were 15, you could tell me. That person may have changed as you evolved when you're 20. That person may have changed when you're 30. So we have to make sure our young people consistently have a person, right? And I tell people all the time, they can get my personal cell phone number. I'll drop it right now, 617-905-0685. If you choose to prank call me, I will laugh right with you. Right? Because it's just people deserve.
Hold on. 617-905.
0685. Do what y'all got to do, right? But the key piece is that we are saying that we will never understand what young people are going through, but we must understand the variables that contribute to their mental health, right? Whether it's negatively impacting it, but also focus on the things that positively impact it, right? And I think that's one of the key pieces that we've been doing well, is saying to them, all right, we heard you. We are going to provide. So a lot of kids right now are into entrepreneurship, right? Financial literacy. We have a Saturday morning urban financial literacy program
that BPS is doing.
Well, it's on Saturdays. You want to come by? Come talk, right? And it's urban. And it's urban. It's not like, oh yeah, don't invest in this stuff. No, it's like, hey, don't go be crazy and get that credit card, and because you want a T-shirt, because the T-shirt looks good and it's nice and bright white, and you're gonna mess up your credit the second you start spending above 30% of your card. Like, it's those real conversations. It's like, hey, here is the cost of a child. Like, your cost of your parent, the average cost of a kid is $178,000 between 0 and 18, right? And then, like, unpacking data. A good friend told me, like, data defeats delusion. So now we're just keeping our kids not delusional, right? And we're actually helping them walk themselves into like additional opportunities through learning from the things that they asked for. They asked for this. We're providing the things they asked for. So the greatest response to students who are struggling is to say, hey, are you okay? What do you need? How can I help? And who you're going to need to move forward, right? And we're constantly looking at those things. I can tell you 20 things that we're doing right now in BPS that's supporting students and families. But we all know, we could let's keep it real. Like, we could self-tell, like, our communication isn't always great. We're getting better at that. Our delivery isn't always welcomed all the time. We're getting better at that. We're in spaces, we're visiting, we're working with the city. We're investing in mentoring. We're really checking in with kids' mental health. We're offering the community youth mental health first aid through Walker Cares. blasting out to the community. Hey, anyone who wants to get trained in youth mental health first aid training, we will help you. We will provide it for you. Because if you're going to be in our community working with our kids, you need to understand the things that they're going through, what the warning signs are, and how to communicate and actually bring yourself to the point where you're not the clinical person, but you know who the hardest part sometimes in communicating with families is knowing who to call, right? Right? Like if you don't know who to call, like 911 is not 911 is kind of like 1960s, right? Right? Or shoot, before that. But like, it's cool to call 911, but like, who is the second or third person? Who's the other layer? When something happens, who's on site? Who's responding to the family? Who's calling that family on a daily basis? And we're trying to make sure that we have as close to perfect of a system possible. Now, we're the most non-perfect, we're education, we're public education. We're the most non-perfect entity in the world. However, it's one thing to like build the system, and while we're trying to create the best system, people kind of have to operate as the system.
Yeah.
Until change happens, right? I think that's, if you look at the greatest leaders, they became the system. Martin Luther King was a system, like the system, like Malcolm X system. All the great folks who did the impactful work, they've become a system. So what we're saying is like, all right, until the real folks get here, we're gonna try and do what we gotta do. So that's what we're doing.
There's so many things to unpack there. It's so interesting to me when people like some other professional journalists have said, James, how do you do this without notes? So I know there's something going on when you make me pull out a pen and a piece of paper to make sure I want to cover everything. One of the first things I want to ask, you work very close, presumably you work with Dr. Simone, correct? Mm-hmm. Over at the Health Commission, the chief of behavioral health.
The chief of student support, Jillian, works with her.
Okay. Yeah. The chief, that's right. So again, I don't want to get you in trouble because
I don't.
No. I mean, as far as I keep labeling you as the helm, and you are the chief, and I know you.
Titles don't.
I know, but I just, I also understand political.
Actually, it means something to be twice a month on those Fridays when you get paid. That's what happens. But other than that, nah, it don't mean nothing. You can call me the toll booth guy. It doesn't matter because they don't even exist anymore. It's fine.
But you're still helping people, even as the toll booth guy. You're still helping people process and get.
That's what we want. That's what we want. Nothing else.
All right. Listen. So a couple of things going on right now at the bottom of the screen. Leslie and Raymond, please call Cory at, wait for it to come back around, 617-905-0685. There are two folks. This is a wonderful BCYS staff, parent, cook, entrepreneur as well. And then Leslie as well as an artist and an author. They're looking for mentoring training. And maybe that'll contribute to the pool of mentors. All that you named, and from my experience years ago being direct service worker, we would do what we do with our young people, seeing them in school up until they leave the program at 7 p.m. One of the most frustrating things as a youth worker was that we could not control what went on after they left the building, namely when they went home. Cory, how is it? You talked about bubble wrap. How is it that you are insulating the home in that bubble wrap with the parents, awareness of programming, the engagement? You mentioned phone calls. How are you ensuring, and I love the student focus, but how are you also engaging with the parents with intentionality?
First of all, when I say student, when we say student, we mean the family that come with them, right? That means like, because the student itself, right? The student is attached to the family. The person is different, right? So when we're working through a system, you're looking at the student being and everything that comes with the student. So when you're talking about families, I think with families, you have to address the best way to address, in my opinion, right? And my strategy is really around like using capital, right? Using the social capital, like understanding, like, I don't want to give away all my tips, but like one thing is that the one thing about Boston is that Boston is really small, and somebody knows somebody that knows somebody. So right, so like, and like one thing that you have when you have capital is being verifiable, right? So like, if there's an issue in Heath Street, and I'll call it out. Like, I know somebody that's there.
Who got the blue check in Heath Street? You better come on.
So like, if I have an issue there, I am going to find somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody, and they're gonna be like, yo, he's good. He's gonna take care of your students. His team's gonna be great. This person has great intentions, because in Boston, you have to build trust and relation. And Boston runs, like, everybody runs. Some people run on Java. Some people run on Boston runs on relationships. Boston runs on those things, and we understand that, right? And we are, as a district, we're saying, like, we have to be more community than ever. We have to be more students, right, attached to parents, student and parent centered as possible, and we have to help them do a lot of mean making and prepare them for the larger things that come their way. So, like, when we're talking about involving parents, a lot of some of the things that we're doing is that we created a Black Studies. We have a Black Studies course that we offer 2 days a week at the Dearborn. One is Black Studies, the other one is the History of the Caribbean. We have all these Caribbean folks in Boston, right? And if they could get free college credits, right, take credit-bearing courses, right, and it could help them jumpstart their associates or whatever, because Massasoit, who's offering it, they actually are the only institution that offers a degree in Black studies, not ethnic studies, Black studies. So, and I'm not saying I'm here to just, target that, but we have to understand that there's multiple subgroups, and we have to hit it from every single area.
Listen, poverty and all the impacts of systems and structures in which the Cory McCarthy system isn't fully implemented yet. And so I get where you talk about balance. You're serving all the students. You don't see, you just see the student and the family around them. Let's keep it real. Our students were disproportionately impacted, so they need that over proportion focus. And I'll say it. You're not saying it. I'll say it.
Yeah, I mean, poverty is trauma, right? And how do we, like, what is our relationship to poverty, right? Like, think about it, right? What is, like, the relationship to what you can have two relationships with poverty. Sustain the situation or escape, right? And we have to help our students and families escape, but but also, like, providing this. If we're looking at if we're looking at the student as connected with the family, we have to provide the similar services to the family.
Yeah.
And thankfully, I'm not operating independently here. Folks have given me the opportunity to do that because they trust and believe that our team is able to do that work. I'm just a very small cog in this work. But, I think that when we are looking at our families, we have to afford them work and use the partnership, leverage the community-based organizations, leverage the nonprofits, and then leverage the connections that we have and the partnerships with the city. For example, with our mentoring program and Reach 1,000, we're saying, like, we want 1,000 kids to have mentors, and we in 4 years we want every kid to have one. So the same person that you and I was talking about, the one that you didn't have when you were 9 and I didn't have when I was 13, I want our kids to have all the time. And with the understanding that the mentee makes the mentor better. Mm-hmm. I think right now, I think people think the reverse. The mentee helps them rationalize why they're doing the things that they're doing on a daily basis. So, like, for instance, the kids I mentor, the questions they ask, the things they want for themselves, I'm not gonna make a poor decision because I know who's watching. And ironically, like, in our community, we aren't the ones. We're not similar to other communities, especially in the Black community. We're kind of like the only community that doesn't live, climb, and pull at the same time, and we have to change that. And the part of it starts with the educational piece. So, but while, like, showing, and picking up where in tandem what the parents are not saying what they're not doing, but the help that they need. And we're humble people, so we have to we're not walking in your house and pulling your fridge door. We're knocking on your door and being like, hey. You may have missed my call. You may have missed my email. You may have missed my text. You may have not looked in the kid's book bag, but we're here to help serve and build a strong relationship with you.
All right, Cory, we're Jesus God, we are at time. Hold on for 1 second. Let me just make this a little bit different here so folks can see this. Listen, now let's be 100. Do not over bombard this man. I enjoyed seeing you on Java. That's cool. That's wonderful. You can type that here. If you want to be a mentor, if you even if you have an issue on the deficit end, But if you want to reach out about mentoring, get information, where Cory, where can folks go for your department to find out about the Black Studies, to find out about the entrepreneur program? I have a little private chat button there. If you can put some links in there, we will share them and put them in the comments, because it is just amazing to know that you are part of the leadership, bringing your experience here, and the approach that this office is taking. I don't know if Dr. Rosas, or if you heard of her, is she still around? She was at English. She was the student support coordinator. Now I'm talking long time ago, but is she still around?
I do not know, but I can go and
I'm just curious.
I don't know, man.
I'm just mad at you.
But yeah, definitely. I would say thank you for having me. And we have a Sunday program. It's called 6176 WON7. It was the BPS response to a lot. There was an uptick in violence on Sundays, and we open Madison Park Gymnasium. Your students can come in there look at our schedule. Once you sign up, you look at our schedule. In the morning, we have open run basketball for women. We have yoga. We have educator yoga. We have community yoga, parent yoga. We have student beginner basketball training for girls, beginner basketball training for boys. We have basketball training for boys and girls. We have volleyball training as well. We have podcast training. If you want to start your own podcast, you can do that. We have filming.
Who's running that? Sorry, go ahead.
We are. But we have strong.
We need to talk about that, because there's a couple of programs that have reached out. Hey, Jimmy, we see what you're doing. Will you come and help our young people set up a podcast? And so,
come be one of our trainers. And I think that's important. The goal is to get a student led programming on Sundays. I mean, this is probably an offline conversation, but it's all leading to stronger voice. Like I love you, bro. I just met you, but I would really, really prefer a student to interview me about my job, right? Like, because they're the ones like they're gonna get me out there, but the students are. Hold on. My data is gonna be linked to the students.
Listen. One of my Anissa, who handles everything for me, there's a young man, and we can just say his first name. There's a young man that we're dealing with, that we did a project with the Health Commission. We train young people in COVID information. I got a wonderful we need to do a couple of things offline.
For sure. And one last thing, we have, we're talking about, we have Opportunity Lab, we have a virtual Opportunity Lab. It also helps our students, our after school, and we know in our community we have a lot of issues around the technical part of the college going process. We have built designed a program with 3 Point Foundation where we can help kids fill out their college applications. We can help your seniors, help your seniors get scholarship opportunities, help them with their college essay writing, help them with their FAFSA. We also have the Opportunity Lab in itself, targeting 12th grade Black males and helping them through the process. This Friday, we're taking kids to 5 colleges in 8 hours. And one of the things we want to talk about in our community is like what happens to a kid when they step on a college campus. Yeah, they hear college all the time, but it changes. Like when they hear free food, 3 meals a day, when they hear unlimited gym, when they hear that they can set their own schedule, it changes, right? And when they hear it's affordable, right? Like if your family is making $45,000 combined and your college is $80,000, you have to tell kids like, yo, you are the scholarship and I'm going to bring you here. So we have those things, and we're grateful for our partners, YMCA, Office of Black Male Advancement, for Frank.
Shout out to Frank Farrell.
Yeah, my dude. And we have a lot of partners. Opportunity Gas, they're relaunching the 10 Boys Initiative. We have a lot of things happening, but if you don't know, I'm gonna blame us until you know, right? So I think we have to step it up more, and we have to handle our business. So feel free to call me, text me, email me.
You there's a couple of things. There's a big entity in the state that approached me about some podcasting, and I really want a youth voice. And so let's figure that out.
Let's figure like what it is to have a pre-production, right? Like those things are critical, and you could lead that work, right? I think the students have something to say, and honestly, if we're talking about mental health, nothing supports a student and improves a student's mental health is their ability to talk about their problems, right, and discuss their problems with people who could help them, but also helping them have that discussion is critical as well. So we have to, like, all that nonsense, like all the buzzwords and all that stuff is out the window. You have to have strong interpersonal and relationship skills.
Cory, let me just get one thing to show you as an example of what you just said about our young people. I'm waiting. Let me just get this in here. I'm waiting on the commission for us to figure out how we're going to release this together. And where did this brother put this file? Ugh. Oh, here it goes. Here it goes. All right, youth program videos. So I think this is it. These young people, I had the opportunity. Yep. I had the opportunity through funding with the Health Commission. This summer, we spent 5 weeks with young people teaching them about public health and COVID.
Oh, that's great.
And this, sir, is just a snippet. This is something that I want us to figure out how we collaborate together to make this happen. Now, let me just make sure I got everything right, because sometimes this thing acts up on me, Brother Cory.
And I'm not reeling on Boston. Everybody could eat.
Oh, no.
Right? Everybody should be able, everybody should be like, everybody should support what you're doing, young people. I think we have this is like this secret that every one person should streamline the work. No, like
Right.
if the communities are doing it, if the housing developments are doing it, if we're all doing it, a young person can't turn a corner without opportunity and access to something that's going to change their lives.
I agree. And for some reason, this thing isn't wanting to act with me today. So maybe it wasn't meant for me to debut it today, so the commission won't get me. But I was getting ready to get in trouble.
Oh, man, that's all right. I live in that space, so it don't matter. Listen, man.
Brother Cory, I cannot wait. We'll set up a time. Anissa, we need to set up a time to break bread with this brother. But you've really helped me start my day off. And again, the parents that see this, even some of the students that may tune in, I think about 8% ages 13 to 17 that follow me on Instagram and stuff. And so if the students see this, it's just good to know the philosophy of leadership that is at the helm of supporting our students' social and emotional and mental well-being. And so it's good to have you here, sir. Is there anything that we missed that you wanted to communicate to the community? They got your number, they got your email.
And like, understand that we're working extremely hard to address the greatest needs of our students, right? It's not just student support, it's academics. It's our leadership. We're the most non-perfect entity, right? But at least I think that it's very clear that folks are accessible. And I think sometimes, historically we haven't been as this accessible, right? And I think I always want to, I want to encourage the folks who are doing the youth justice and liberation work to continue it, to fight hard for our kids, because I was telling, just like I said to you earlier, everybody wants student voice, everybody wants family and community voice until folks start until they start voicing it. And once you get loud, and we're right now we're in the business of like, all right, let's sit down, let's talk, but not just like live in a space. Let's not live in a space where we just are talking about the theoreticals, right? Let's be verbs about this whole thing, right? Let's be verbs. Like, let's be verbs about this whole thing and be real about why a kid needs an opportunity, why restorative practices needs to be in our system, but not just in our schools. It needs to be reverberated throughout our city. Kids need the opportunity to make poor decisions sometimes. In the suburbs, they make bad decisions all the time, and they get to become doctors, lawyers, or whatever. In our city, we can't just look at a kid and say, "Hey, this kid got his pants down, or he's wearing this particular hat, that he's not a genius in waiting," right? Like if a kid is 15 years old and doesn't do his schoolwork, but he's a master producer in the studio, he's an engineer, right? He's an engineer.
Listen,
right?
you got me in here church rocking.
Right, like let's think about our kids a little bit differently from an asset-based lens, and then we go back from there. And then when they start doing something that we don't like, think about it. Like we don't like that's the problem. We have to think about them making a decision that negatively impact themselves and have them reflect upon that. That's the difference. That's why restorative practices matter. It's the mindset of having this. You want the culture of our kids thriving, not the rule of what there's not the rule. So culture is always greater than rules. And I think we're trying to change the culture where we are eliminating always slapping kids in the face with rules. Oh, take your hat off. Oh, no, stop it. Like, no, the kid's going to be a kid when they leave here. We're not with them when they're getting harassed at the train station. Like, we want decisions to be made by kids, and we want to be the ones that to help them and to cultivate that and create a space for it. So I'm glad that you guys were able to have me on here. Trust me, folks. Some of you folks, I'm not going to get in trouble, right? Folks understand who I am. Yeah, I support and I think we have a lot of people who care about our kids this way. So I'm not the only one. Don't think of this as an anomaly. There's a lot of people who care about our kids in our district. Hi, Leslie.
Cory,
I know her daughter.
Okay.
I know Leslie, yeah.
I wondered when she said hi, Cory, like that, if she Leslie know everybody. Listen, Cory, I appreciate you, sir. This was good for me this morning to know this. And I'll reach out about this video thing. Yeah.
Oh, sure. Send me the link, whatever you want to do.
Look, it's acting up, so that must mean that I need to go ahead and follow protocol with the funder and just get a release date. But thank you, Cory, for being with us this morning. This was inspiring, man. Daniel Laurent on LinkedIn also says hi. Some folks ratcheting around. Hey, what's up to you, man? UCB members, you all get 1 hour today. That's interesting. Cory, I appreciate you, man. I'll let you get to work. And I look forward to meeting you next Tuesday at the EdQuity event.
I will be there. I'll be standing in the back, probably on my phone because I'll just keeping it real 100. I love what folks are doing, but I'll see you there.
Oh no, Pam knows. Listen, she gets it. And Leslie says she's gonna call you.
All right, got you.
All right, brother. Thank you, man. And please give Mary my best. And we'll see her next week as well.
All right. No doubt.
You.
Take care.
Okay. I'm all set. It's not perfect, but our young people are in good hands. I believe so. If you agree, say amen in the comments. We're getting ready to get off of here. It's funny to me because this video will not work. And it's not the usual tech that, I deal with. It's not even showing when I go to share it on the screen. So I'm going to need to email the health commission. Listen, that brother, I'm good. I'm good with him. And hopefully parents, you all can tap into him as well. All right, listen, got to get ready to go. Today is election day. Presumably, most of you that are in this platform heard the mantra. You participate in the civic process, the electoral process. And so to somewhat, I'm sure 85% I'm preaching to the choir. However, you just happen to stumble in and you're wondering if you need to vote today, you need to go vote. Vote. I will quickly share with you. This year is interesting. Every election, you get, hey, Jimmy, who we voting for? I haven't been paying attention. Who you voting for? This year, there was a little uptick the last couple of days. So, which is good. That means maybe that more people are going to go out and vote. I love you too, Ma. For District 7, Tanya Edwards, who we had on yesterday. For at large, I encourage you to vote for Ruthie Lugienne. I encourage you to vote for Julia Mejia. I encourage you to vote for Clifton Breathwaite. And I encourage you to vote for Henry Santana. The construction of the city council, as of when those votes are finalized, what do you call it? Preliminary results, probably in the next 24 to 48 hours. And then they're finalized shortly thereafter. Those results, I'm telling you, man, woman, boy, and girl, are going to set the future for Boston when it comes to our movement toward equity. And if we do not ensure that those at-large seats fully reflect Black and brown and the allies of Black and brown people, and let me deviate, as I said to the deputy chief, equity is for everybody. But the application of equity, when it comes to those that have that have lacked it the most, equity means you got to go back and from the negative bring up to at least a fair starting point. So please understand, us calling for equity and ensuring that Black and brown values are exhibited in whom we vote for, it's a little presumption because all skin ain't kin. However, there is a belief and there is more likeliness that those folks are more malleable to our issues. As far as the did I say Tanya Edwards? Tanya, where did I get that from? I guess I know a Tanya Edwards. Tanya Anderson, District 7. Tanya Anderson, Tanya Anderson, Tanya Anderson. All right. Definitely. Thank you, Pam and Donna as well. Vote, y'all. Vote. I'm so concerned about the results. Y'all don't understand. As far as this evening, the team and me a little bit, I agreed. We're actually going to do something new. I'm mentally preparing for it. There are about 4 or 5 watch parties throughout the city. It's some of the candidates watch parties. And so we're going to go there and check those out. We will try to go live depending on the signal. If not, I'll do a video and upload it. I'm going to work out the details with the team at 2:00 today during our meeting. And so we're not doing the regular show tonight. I know I said I was, but tomorrow at 9 a.m., the Davis system, not in there handling me and other things that they do, the multiple things that they do, but Anthony and Aaron Davis of the Davis system are coming in, and we're going to talk about the impact of the election. Anthony is going to review some of the numbers with us and some of the trends. Aaron and both he are going to give commentary about their impressions of the results, informal and preliminary results that we'll have tomorrow morning. So please plan to tune in tomorrow morning at 9. Tonight will be sort of spotty. That's why you need to turn on notifications to know when Java with Jimmy is going live. Okay. Also, this Thursday night, Java with Jimmy, Mings, and we also appreciate the support of Real Boston Media, Mings, and also Estella's, and also Richie and Toyel are coming together to, I'll be honest, Mings and I would there's no work on Friday, and we just wanted to come together and support Estella's. We were going to have a party, Friendsgiving, holiday the next day. I was already going to do something on November 9th, and I'm like, okay, let's do it. We figured it out, small cover. Then I was aware of Richie and Toyel's flyer. What they are doing is they are collecting goods and products for those that have been migrated, not necessarily migrating by choice. Some have been migrated to Massachusetts, and they're lacking the essentials of life, quality of life products like soap, deodorant, clothes, underwear. Now, listen, let me say this. I didn't know they were going to do a clothes drive as a part of Thursday night. So let me say this. I've been a part of clothes drives before. Please do not bring a trash bag with damp clothes that are mildewed that and someone said it yesterday. This is not a dumpster. All right. These are people that have been dealing with life's trauma. And so also the folks that are going to organize and inventory this stuff, let's be courteous to them. So I'm asking if you can bring something new or products, or you will be able to give cash. Now, there is a $10 cover to enter, but you will be able to give cash that evening to Richie and Toyel so they can buy the things. Bring clothes, bring the products, but please don't bring dirty clothes, and don't bring clothes that is, we use the term gently, lightly worn. I'm not even going to look at the comments right now because I know I'm going to get in trouble. You know what? I'm not messing. If you would saying you get a picture with superstar mogul James Hill's autograph, Anissa, get him. It is the season of Anissa said the clothes that still have tags on them too. And some of y'all got a lot of those in y'all closet. Also, keep an eye out for Anissa's book. Anissa, what's the name? Anissa has a book coming out very soon. I believe the 24th. And so we're actually going to have Anissa on as an author. and as a guest. You see the impact of the work she does here. Oh, this didn't come overnight. And so we're going to learn from her. She has a powerful story and testimony. And so I'm looking forward for you all getting to know her in a whole different manner. Sharon Cornelia said, I'm at BCEC, about 10,000 people there today. We need to get you some flyers, Sharon. So as you're taking care of the food, you can just slide them, or put Java with Jimmy on in your pocket while you're walking around so they can hear it. No, I'm messing. Sharon Cornelius. Feels good saying that. Anissa's book is called Business Brand Success. Enough said. Business Brand Success. Leslie's another author in here, Anissa. And Pastor Marion said, wash, iron, and fold those gently worn. Pastor Marion, thank you. Pam said, have them create an Amazon wish list. All right, I'll mention that to Richie. All right, I'll do that. I know somebody got that Anisse hoodie. And, oh, there's 8 different ways to pronounce that. Hoodie, they never got to try on. Bring it and give. You better come on here, brother. All right, I'm getting off of here. It's 9:54. We will see you guys tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. with the Davis system. We will be in and out tonight, this evening, around the election results. Thank all of you for being here today. I'm so appreciative of my guests. And don't forget, this Thursday night, here is the link for you to be able to go and get your ticket, even if you can't attend and you can't bring anything. What do we call it? Give back. Somebody click that link and see if it takes y'all to the Eventbrite page, please, to make sure that I put the right link in there. I can't click it. So let me just type it and click it here. We in post-production. Y'all just, all right. Info / give back 2023. And it is case specific. Hey, it worked. All right, I'm getting off of here. You all have a wonderful day, and we'll see you tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. And don't forget to sign up for notifications. So when we go live tonight around election results, you can pop in the room and be aware. See you guys tomorrow morning. Well, see you guys this evening off and on, and have a great Testimony Tuesday, everybody. Peace.